Most people say family is everything. Blood is thicker than water. You're supposed to forgive, forget, show up for holidays, keep the peace. But then there's you. You stopped answering calls. You don't go home for Christmas. You cut them off completely. And people think you're cold, heartless, ungrateful. But what if cutting off your family isn't about being cruel? What if it's actually one of the most psychologically healthy decisions you can make? Real quick, if you've ever felt guilty about distancing yourself from family, hit subscribe. We talk about the psychology behind tough decisions like this every week. Here's the thing. Not everyone who cuts off their family does it for the same reason. There are actually 4 different types of people who make this choice, and understanding which type explains everything. The first type? The survival cutter. Some people cut off their families because staying meant drowning. We're talking about abuse, emotional, physical, doesn't matter. Every phone call reopens a wound. Every holiday is a performance where they pretend everything's fine while walking on eggshells. So one day they just stop. They block the number, they move cities, they disappear. And people on the outside say, but it's your mom, it's your dad. Yeah, and they're also the reason therapy exists. This isn't revenge, it's survival. And psychologists actually have a name for this. It's called protective detachment. It's not cold, it's self-preservation. Then there's the slow fader. Then there's another type. They didn't have some dramatic blowout. They just started noticing patterns. Every conversation left them drained. Every visit felt like an obligation, not a choice. Their family didn't abuse them, they just didn't see them, didn't ask real questions, didn't care about who they actually are. So they slowly faded. Calls got shorter, visits got rarer, and eventually they realized they don't miss this. That's not guilt talking, that's clarity. You know what's wild? Society tells you you owe your family your presence just because you share DNA. But these people figured out connection without respect is just proximity. The third type is the value mismatch. And then there are those who outgrew their family, not in an arrogant way, but in a we fundamentally see the world differently way. Maybe they came out and their family couldn't accept it. Maybe they changed religions, changed politics, changed their whole life, and their family kept trying to pull them back into who they used to be. Every conversation became a debate. Every visit became a lecture. And at some point, they realized, I can't be myself here. So they chose themselves. This is what psychologists call identity preservation. It's not selfish, it's necessary, because shrinking yourself to keep the peace isn't peace, it's slow suffocation. And finally, there's the realist. And let's be real, some people cut off their families because they just don't like them. If these people weren't related to you, you wouldn't choose to hang out with them. You wouldn't tolerate their behavior. You wouldn't answer their calls. So why does sharing a last name mean you have to? That's not being heartless, that's being honest. And sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is admit, I don't owe anyone access to my life just because we're related. Here's what most people miss. Cutting off family isn't about hate. It's about choosing yourself when staying would mean losing yourself. And society doesn't prepare you for that decision because we're raised to believe family is supposed to be safe, supportive, unconditional. But what if it's not? What if the people who raised you are also the people who hurt you the most? That's not a failure on your part, that's just reality. Whether you cut them off for survival, clarity, identity, or honesty, all of these are valid. You're not broken, you're protecting your peace. Now, here's something important. If your reason is hurt, if it's about something they said, something they did that left a scar, distance can protect you, but forgiveness can free you. Distance keeps you safe, forgiveness keeps you whole. So, what do you do with this? If you're one of these types and you're still carrying guilt, here's your permission. You don't owe anyone a relationship that costs you your mental health, not even family. And if someone in your life is judging you for this decision, remember, they don't live in your reality. They don't carry your history. You get to decide who gets access to your life, not them, you. So, whether you walked away to survive, to protect yourself, to be yourself, or just because you deserved better, you're not alone, and you're not wrong. The people who get it, get it. The people who don't, well, they probably didn't have to make this choice. So, which one are you? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely want to know how many people relate to each type, or if you're a mix of them all. If this made you feel less alone, hit that like button. It helps more people find this. And if you're new here, subscribe. We go deep into psychology that actually explains real life every week. You made the right choice. Don't let anyone tell you different. See you in the next one.